Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, dig in the Dodge website, look at the March incentives. There's something pretty interesting in there involving the Charger Hellcat and Challenger Hellcat, non-red eye and non-jailbreak. Pretty good incentive. And then we're going to go in there and see what else Dodge has to offer for the month of March and going forward. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys lock in, stay tuned to the end, and let's go. All right, so we're live now on the Dodge website. So they just updated the page for the month of March. It previously had the President's Day sale going on. And I'll just go through the Durango first. I'm just going to show you 0 APR for 48 months, all these incentives. But one of the main things you got to look for is the fact that all these sales, 2,000 retail customer cash, 0% for 72 months. And these are on 2021s. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and look in here and see the incentives for the 2022s. If you can get a 2021, you can still get 0% APR. Not a lot of rebates on that. So it's either the APR or the customer cash, which is 2,000. So we're going to go in here and we're going to look for the incentives for the 2022s. All right, so we're going to go on Charger. Right off the bat, you can see it went from 0% to 2.9, and this is through Chrysler Capital for 72 months. So let's look at the lineup, and then will kind of show you which vehicles this qualifies for. So SXT, you can see here. Let's get down here. GT, RTs, the Scat Pack. This is a narrow body Scat. So you can see right here, you can lease one for $527 for 36 months. Not bad. Or you could finance it for 0 APR for 36 months. I mean, you're probably going to pay extremely high unless you put a lot of money down, which obviously I don't recommend. And then for the wide body, they just have the 0 APR for 36 months. And then or get the $1,000 cash allowance. So as you can see, they're not offering the wide body Scat as a lease. Okay, so that's important information to know. This is some other important information to know. So right now, so if you didn't know, there's basically three different Hellcat Chargers, and obviously they all come in wide body, that you can kind of order now for 2022. It's the regular Hellcat with 717. Then you got the red eye. Okay. And then you have the jailbreak. Those are the three vehicles, Charger wise, Hellcat, that you can order right now. Obviously with the jailbreak, they're going to need allocations for that, but you can definitely order the red eye and the regular Hellcat. So look at these deals. Let's start off here with the Hellcat. So this is for 2022. You can lease one for $684 for 36 months. And I'll kind of go over this and kind of what's going on right here, because that's really good payment. Or 0 APR for 36 months. Look, I took the 0 APR for 72 months, and the only thing I did was pay the taxes. I didn't really I put a decent amount because the taxes were high here in Washington. But I pay almost $1,100. I pay $1,085 a month. That's with 0 APR for 72 months. So you're basically just, every time you make a payment, it's going straight to the car, no interest. And that's what I did. The leasing, when I was trying to lease it, it was almost $1,000, and I wasn't about to lease for about the same price as me financing it and paying directly to principal. Okay, so for the red eye, it's just finance, and then or $1,000 cash allowance. They're not even giving you the 2,000 that they're giving for the 2021s, and it's 0% APR. So, and for the jailbreak, it's the same thing. And 0% APR, I mean, dude, at 86,000, you know, by the time you're finished building it, you're looking at a 90 something $1,000 car. That's got to be over $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 a month payment. Okay. Actually, no, probably more than that. So let's see. So let's just say the car is $92,000. Okay. And divide that by 36 since there's no interest. That's $2,500 a month with this. So this is not even worth it. It's not even worth going to Chrysler Capital. I would just, if you're going to get one of these two, obviously just take the $1,000 and it'll help a little bit. But let's go more into the Hellcat wide body and let's start the buying process. All right, so let's increase search radius. I put the location. I think this is in New York area. They're one of the places that had one close by, and Teterboro. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go with high price because that's where we're gonna find it. And I want to say, let me just double check, because they all say, let me just click it and see, because I want to make sure that it's not a red eye or anything like that. Let's see here. Nope. So this one says 717. So this is not a red eye. Okay. So let's look at this. So it says it's being built. All right. So for leasing. So let's review some payment options. All right. So right now for leasing this vehicle, and most of the time, this is not a recommended thing. The down payment, it's just, I mean, it's not a required thing. It's more of a recommended. Like, hey, maybe you should put 10% down. This is a lot of money for a lease to put down. Why do I say that's a lot of money? So if you didn't know, when you lease a vehicle and let's say you put that big down payment, right? If something happens to the vehicle and, you know, it's totaled out, you basically lose that money. All right, it's not like if you buy the car, the bank is going to give you what it's worth. And if, let's say, you paid a whole bunch of money on the car, you make up the difference, right? On a lease, you're basically renting the car for that amount of time. So that's why I wouldn't suggest putting a whole bunch of money down, because that money is just money that's just going away. So the lease term. So this is for 10,000 miles. For 36 months, and I'm going to show you some different combinations and what's going on. So let's say you drive it moderately, about 12,000 miles a year, and let's say you put $2,500. Let's just say, to bring it down a little bit. Let's say you don't have a trade, and right now the one incentive is already in here, $1,000. Okay, so right now you are going to lease a $87,000 car. So unlike you buying the vehicle, you're only paying taxes on the amount that you're leasing. So at the end of the lease term, so the reason these leases are really low right now, and I gotta really check to see what the options are on this, is the fact that the projected value of the Hellcat Charger 36 months from now is supposed to stay relatively high. So because of that, you're going to be able to get a lower lease term than if you were probably a year ago before, or a year and a half ago, when we didn't have a big chip shortage. There wasn't an announcement of the 2023 model being the last year. So they're going to want these vehicles back because they know they're going to get top dollar. So the value that you are leasing is less than what you would have been leasing if you would have got this car, let's say a year ago, because it is keeping its value. So right here, this is for good credit tier 1. So these are the different credit, so you can see kind of how it adjusts. So you see the big difference. 977 went up. Most of the time for these kind of cars, you're gonna need tier 1 if you're trying to lease this amount of money. So this is the kicker. So if you try to do something less, 24 months, look how much it goes up. 1,600 bucks. Any other combinations, 1,400 bucks. So when you go back down to 36, all right, and then if you put it back to 10,000, let's say you're just gonna drive it around, 952. So 952 for a $90,000 car. Even though it is a lot of money, I'm gonna find you some other examples in here of, I think there was one that I found that was low to mid 80s. So with that 2,500 down, and you could put a little bit more down. I wouldn't suggest anything. This 2,500 is a decent amount already. I would save some of that other, 6,500 bucks or something, just for your payments. You can pay, 6-7 months worth of the lease payment instead of putting it down where it's money that you can lose, right? So I think that's a better option. And then, you don't have to worry. You can get rid of the car after the lease term or keep it. But just remember, because it is going to keep its value, that price is locked in stone. So if they're telling you that the residual value after 3 years, let's say it's 68,000 or 70,000, 65,000, something like that. That's how much you're going to be financing 3 years from now. So that is still relatively high for a 3-year-old vehicle. So it's up to you at that point what you want to do. All right, so let me get out of here because I want to show you. Let's pick a different one because it was one specifically, and I think it's, let's go with this one. And like I said, I didn't know what the options were on the other one. There's a lot more specific. So this is the regular Hellcat. So let's check. Okay, so right now, if you, let's say you only put 2,500 down, and if you have a trade or something that's worth anything right now, because the values of used vehicles are still high, that if you have something that you can get, let's just say after they pay it off, let's say you get 1,500 bucks out of it, that helps towards the lease payment. So right here, 10,000 miles, 36 months, tier 1 credit, $829 for 36 months. If you did the same thing, let's say you try to finance this. Now, when you finance it, you're gonna have to put a decent amount of down payment unless you have like ridiculous credit. But look, this is, let's say I did the same 2,500 on the same vehicle. This is the incentive program. Okay, so you're financing 79,000. Now remember, all this right here, this 1,200 and all this is without any taxes put on the vehicle. So that's what I'm saying. So you pay taxes on the total amount of this vehicle. So depending on your state, let's say your state is 9% sales tax or 10% to make it easy, you're going to be paying another 8,500, 8,400 bucks. So this right here, this is going to go back up. This is going to be, around $88,000, $89,000. So you're going to be paying a lot more than $1,200 a month. So that's another thing to consider is the taxes. So if you're going to put, $9,000 down to pay the taxes, okay, you tack on another $8,000 on there, you're financing $80,000 car. So Let's see, so $1,000. Okay, so the 80,000 right here. So this is how much you'd pay. So you see, compared to leasing it, obviously you're not gonna put that much down. I mean, it's your money. If you want to pay a lot less, I'm just telling you, especially with it being a Hellcat. Next thing you know, it's stolen, and you just spend all that money. You know what I mean? It's a crazy thing to put all that money down on a lease. But look at the lease. $900 compared to like $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month. And this is with Chrysler Capital. I don't know what you're going to be able to get. You could get a longer loan. Obviously, longer loans have higher interest rates. So that's a lot of things to consider. So right now, the wide body Hellcat, non-red eye, non-jailbreak, is really good time to lease because of the value of the vehicle is still staying so high after the lease term. You're not having to lease that much of a difference between what the vehicle costs now and what it will be at the end of the term. So I think right now is the best time to lease, and because it's the only one that you can lease wide body wise. And it goes the same for this one and then for the Challenger as well. They're both the same. So I just want to provide you guys that information. If you guys got any questions, make sure you guys drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Any decisions you guys want to make, we could talk about it, chat about it. So just let me know in the comments. So with that being said, stay tuned, stay safe, stay blessed. Out.